Welcome, everyone, to Boxing Scene's Top Stories. I am George DeMatteis, and don't forget, download the app for the complete experience where apps are available. And also, you can listen to Top Stories audio style where podcasts are available. I am joined by the champions. We got Chris Algieri, and we got Paulie Malignaggi joining us here on Top Stories. All right, fantastic article on boxingscene.com where they were inspired by Angelo Leo's devastating KO of Venado Lopez. And on boxingscene.com, that article ranked the top 10 knockouts of the 21st century. Our own Juan Manuel Marquez finishing #1 with that devastating 6-round knockout of Manny Pacquiao back in 2012. That was #1. Paulie, do you agree that that's the #1 knockout of the 21st century? And if not, what is your opinion?
Yeah, you know, that the shock effect of that knockout was crazy because they had been so competitive with each other every single time, and you were looking at another big time competitive fight unfolding in front of you as you were watching it. I remember being in the arena as a fan. I wasn't working that night, but I was in the arena, and that knockout came out of nowhere, man. And I think I got more beer poured on me than some championship teams get champagne poured on them. You know, it just flew all up in the air when that knockout happened. It was subtle. It was surprising. It was shocking. It was well timed, and of course it had all the visual effects of a KO of the year, and in this case a KO of the century. So really an insane KO.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to go against that one. I mean, based on what their background together was, you know, how many times they fought, and just the definitive end to that rivalry. I mean, with one right hand, I mean, face down, someone who'd never been stopped like that. I mean, that's an incredible fight. But one that's near and dear to me, which actually came in #2 on the list there, was Lennox Lewis revenge KOing Hasim Rahman. I mean, first of all, the fact that Rahman gets upset of the year, KO of the year, one-punch knockout of Lennox Lewis, huge upset, cracks him with a right hand along the ropes. I remember Lennox's head banging off the canvas as he went down, everyone being in shock. I remember watching it in high school being like, oh my God. And then for him to come back and get it back the way he did by icing Rahman with that two-fisted shot, left hook, right hand, cracks him, cuts him over the eye, cuts his mouth, blood coming down his face, falls flat on his back, heads in the Don King crown. They got that iconic picture above it.
That's the one that did it. That's what makes it so iconic too. He fell
exactly
right under the crown, the Don King crown.
His head's in the crown, his eyes are up, and Lennox is just, celebrating his victory because there's no way he was getting up, even though Rahman did try, got up, I think, around 8 or 9 or so. But yeah, I mean, that one, that must have felt so good for Lennox, to shut up all the haters. Everyone talked about his chin being bad, and he's getting knocked out by a guy like Rahman. Shouldn't have happened. So for him to kind of put everything to rest, and the fact that Lennox has defeated everyone he's ever fought, even the guys that beat him, he came back to avenge those defeats, I think is a massive statement. So Lennox is one of those guys that I didn't like him when he was fighting, but now that he's gone, I miss him because he was so damn good.
Yeah, and also when we understand boxing, right, we understand more of what Lennox was doing. We're a little older. We understand a lot of the subtleties that Lennox was doing. It's much easier to appreciate him after our experience. I'll tell you what, that rivalry in general has KO of the century on it both ways. I mean, the first KO of Lennox was shocking, and it was a monster KO. I mean, Lennox fell like a bag of potatoes, like we say in Italy when you fall just flat, like you fall like a bag of potatoes, like they open the bag and you just go down. Lennox felt like that, but then the way he knocked out Rahman. I'm also going to bring him a couple other ones. I think there's Pacquiao and Hatton was a big one. Pacquiao versus Hatton was a pretty shocking, massive KO. That was also in the 21st century. It was also pretty shocking. It wasn't one punch, but it was a devastating shot, and it was also an upset. Was Kelly Pavlik knocked down Jermaine Taylor as the underdog, the way he did it, where he froze him on the corner against the turnbuckle and just put together that combination. Wasn't quite as bad.
I was at that one. That was
me too. Wow, you were too. I was at that one too. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it was you got some good ones, man. But yeah, it's still tough to top Pacquiao and Marquez. I mean, that one was just shocking in a lot of ways, and of course has all the makings of a monster KO of the year or of the century in this case.
Yeah. By the way, Paulie, that Pacquiao Hatton ranks #4 on the list on that boxingscene.com article. We want everybody to check out that list of the top 10 knockouts of the 21st century, and of course, leave your comments as well as to the #1 or most memorable knockout of the 21st century. I'm going to add one from women's boxing. Ann Wolfe flattening Vonda Ward. Y'all got to check that one out. That one is pretty devastating as well.
And was that in the 2000s? That was in 2000s. That's crazy. Yeah, I forgot about that one too.
I mean, and Ward is what, 6 inches, 7 inches taller?
She felt like a tree. Felt like a tree. Right hand.
It was a beautiful shot there from Ann Wolfe. All right. Yep, that's going to be a great article. Check it out there. Certainly is going to spark a lot of comment. The top 10 knockouts of the 21st century on boxingscene.com. And we'd like to remind you to scan the QR code, download the app so you can watch on the app the best live fight series in all of boxing. It's back August 21st, Wednesday night fights here on ProBox TV, your boxing channel. I'm George Metellus. Thank you for watching Boxing Scene's Top Stories.
Wednesday night fights.
Dynamite action on Wednesday night fights every other Wednesday on your boxing channel.
Coming up on your next Wednesday night fights, August 21st. Former Unified World Champion Swift Jarrett Hurd takes on former Unified World Champion Jason Banana Rosario. Live from the ProBox Event Center in Plant City. Get your tickets at proboxtv.com or take your chances at the door. Wednesday night fights.
For more ProBox TV, scan the QR code on the screen or go to the App Store and Google Play. ProBox TV, your boxing channel.